All right, the year is 2024, and imagine the only way you're meeting people is on a telephone, a cell phone to be specific, using dating apps. Now, imagine a world, however, where you could walk out, leave your home, head out to town, and walk up to a pretty girl that you see, ask her out, and successfully do this. Well, today we're going to talk about just that. I'm going to share with you 5 places that I think are great places to meet people, meet women in real life in 2024. So let's take a look. All right, so I want to start off by saying, if you're a guy who likes to use dating apps, by all means, go for it. If you're finding success, if you're enjoying it, then by all means, continue doing what you're doing and enjoy it. I'm not shitting on them. I've used them in the past and I've had success, and they can be a great potential option if you want to meet people. And so I want to go through just a few of the pros and cons of dating apps. Obviously, let's go through the cons. The balance of matches is pretty skewed. Men get far less matches than women do. And if you do get a match, since women generally have way more countless number of matches than the men do, her actually getting around to responding to you, to messaging you, to setting something up is a very low percentage. Okay, so this is a lot of time that you're spending swiping around on these apps while you're taking a shit in the bathroom and not getting much success. Okay, so this is obviously a huge con for using these apps. Okay, and they usually are going to be charging you something in order to even give you a somewhat of a chance of connecting with somebody, and so you're wasting time, you're wasting money. Now, let's talk about some of the pros. If you are a good-looking guy who's got some decent texting game and can message people and message women and set something up, then boom, you're gonna have the pick of the litter. You are going to clean up, do well, and if you really wanted to, you could be with new women every single day, if that's your goal, okay? But a lot of you guys out there aren't necessarily looking to just do that, but you just wanna find something a little more substantial, So, hey, either way you wanna go, if you wanna just play around, play the field, or look for something more long-term, doesn't matter to me. I'm just here to promote the idea that meeting in person is a much more fulfilling way to go about doing it, okay? And so I'm going to talk you through the cons of meeting in person, first of all, okay? So first of all, there's just a lot more risk than sitting on a cell phone, right? You actually have to approach someone and interact with them. You have to actually work and build up your skills. It's not just a matter of, like I said, swiping and messaging. You have to be good at certain skills, socializing, reading the room, body language, tone of voice, your speed of voice. How charming can you be? How engaging can you be in real life? This requires some skills that could be considered a con. Okay, you also have to face some real-time rejection. If she says no, you're gonna feel kind of like a jackass, perhaps. But in all reality, it's really not that big of a deal. Once you've done it enough times and you've gotten rejected, it really isn't that big of a deal. But you won't know it until you actually do it, okay? So it does require that work and effort. And let's be real, a lot of men don't want to do that. They'd rather sit on the phone and do it that way. And that's fine. Now let's talk about the pros though, okay? Because to me, this is what makes it well worth it. Okay, so the pros of meeting women in real life is literally just a feeling of confidence knowing that you can walk into any establishment, a bar, library, restaurant, anywhere, grocery store, and walk up to a girl that you think is attractive, strike up a conversation, and ask her out. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna always succeed. You're not always gonna get a number or get a date, but just the fact that you can go do that whenever you so damn please is a very good feeling. Even when you get rejected, there's something that feels really good about you just did that, and not many other guys can say that they can do something like that, okay? So that's a huge pro. The other big pro is that if you do this enough and you get good at it, well, this is a skill that you can use throughout your entire life. Sales, interacting with people, just gaining people's trust. If you're at work, if you are good at interacting, socializing, and making you feel comfortable, like a complete stranger, especially a woman, feel comfortable by approaching her, that skill alone is worth its weight in gold, and you can use this for the rest of your life, okay? And third, just talking about it from a man to woman perspective, you can see what she's like right then and there. She can see what you're like. And maybe you're not the most photogenic man out there. If you've got a great personality, you've got some game, you've got some banter skills, well, boom, you may have an opportunity with people that you wouldn't normally have swiping online just by judging through a profile picture. So these are 3 reasons that I think make approaching in real life so much better and so much more interesting and fulfilling. Okay, so that aside, we're gonna actually talk about now that I've said that I recommend doing this, well, where the hell do you meet women? Because it's like a lot of guys think, okay, I'll go to a bar or a church or whatever. Not really the best places. Now, that's not to say that you can't, because I certainly have at all those places. But I want to give you some ideas of places that you might not think about that could be played to your advantage, that you can just incorporate into your daily life. Okay, so these are 5 things. Not the best, but they're good ones that I think any guy can go out today and potentially meet a girl at these places that are very low risk. Okay, so for number 1 is the grocery store. It's probably one of my favorite places because there's so much good fodder for bantering with women, right? You can there's so much context. If she's got something interesting in her shopping cart, strike up a conversation about that. You can do it at the checkout aisle. When you see what she's doing, you can have a little conversation about that. She might even ask you about what you got in your cart. And there you go. Automatically, you have a reason to interact. And look, even without that, you can still approach them, say hello, how are you doing? And say, hey, I thought you were gorgeous. What are you doing here? What are you up to today? Something as simple as that. I'll tell you about a time I went to the grocery store and ended up going out with this girl. It was in the vegetable section, and I was going to get some garlic, and I saw she was going for it at the exact same time. I said, hey, what are you doing? I've been eyeballing that one. Don't take that piece. And she goes, oh, no, that's exactly the one I was going for. And, of course, once she did that, I could tell that she had a sense of humor because she knew I was just goofing around, and that opened up a conversation. And we discovered that we lived in the same neighborhood. And by the end of it, I said, well, hey, you know what? This is a fun convo. I got to run. Why don't we grab a drink sometime? And boom, that was it. So easy. You transition right into it. And now you've got yourself a date. She knows a little bit about you. And boom, you did it in person and you feel real good. And it's like a huge confidence booster. Okay? So grocery stores, plenty of things to talk about. And it's very casual, laid back. Number 2, farmers markets and flea markets, okay? Similar to grocery stores in the fact that they're very laid back and low key. And at farmers markets, it's usually outside, the weather's nice, people are feeling good, they're conversational, they're very social there. And if you're into healthy eating, you have something in common with it, because a lot of people who go there are into this like health stuff, healthy food, fresh vegetables and fruits. And there's just so many opportunities to talk to people, even the people running the booth. I've had situations where I've asked girls out who are running the booth because we had good conversations. And there's a lot of opportunities there that, again, open the conversation and then you just segue into asking people out. It's super low key. You're not chasing, you're not being needy. You're just saying, hey, this is a great combo. I would love to continue this sometime. Because the idea here is that you don't chase around. You're not just constantly on the prowl. These are things that you can be doing, that you're just enjoying life. Because that's what I want to stress to you guys, is that you don't necessarily need to go out to be hunting for women. Go, where do I go? Let me sit at the bar. Let me hold my cocktail and just look around and wait for a hot girl to come by. That's not what I'm suggesting. These are places that you can just be living your life and attract and also approach women that you find attractive. So farmers markets and flea markets. Number 3 is Sidewalk. Okay, this one's honestly one of my favorite places because you just meet so many people walking around, especially if you live in a city like I do, like Los Angeles. So let me give you more specifics about this, okay? I literally was walking from my friend's place to Trader Joe's, saw this girl coming towards me. She was listening to music, dancing around. She was just like feeling herself. And I was like, yo, I had to stop her. I said, what are you listening to? Because you look like you're just having a great time. And so she laughed and she showed me what she was listening to. So again, immediately we segued into a conversation. and we found out we had a bunch of stuff in common from where we were from, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, again, I just said, well, hey, I'm heading to a party, but I'd love to get together another time and continue our chat. We should grab a drink. She was like, yes, that'd be so much fun. She was into it. She gave me her number right away. Later that night, she texted me, hey, it's so great to meet you. Looking forward to getting that drink. So boom, it was just so in the moment. You just go with it. She approached along. I'm living my life. I said, hello, what are you listening to? And it's simple as that. And that's just walking around on the sidewalk. You take advantage of that opportunity. Let me give you one more sidewalk story. Now, this is one where I like to sit outside in front of where I live on the steps, and I'll smoke a cigar and listen to jazz music. I'm just doing my thing, relaxing at the end of the day. Maybe I'll be drinking a glass of wine or some bourbon. But I did this once, and actually several times, women have come up to me and said, hey, I just love your vibe you got going on here. I love your music. I love the smell of that cigar. And from there, you open up a conversation. Oh, you like jazz? Who do you listen to? What are you into? Boom. This has happened several times where I've done this, ask girls out, and boom, there you go. I wanted to say that everything that I'm sharing with you guys, these are all places where I've asked girls out, have gone on dates. So I didn't just want to make things up. I actually wanted to suggest things that I've done myself because, I can speak from experience. Now, of course, not everyone can do this. Maybe you won't be able to do everything that I'm saying, but I want you to I'm bringing these up because I know a lot of guys ask me, well, where do I meet women? Where do I go? I don't know where to go to meet women. And again, I want to stress, you can do this just living your normal daily life, okay? So the sidewalk, if you're a man who's just enjoying himself, you're sitting back, you got your little beverage, you're just listening to some music. I mean, when a woman sees that, she's like, damn, this guy just is living his life. And that is very attractive when you're just doing your own thing. Again, you're not chasing, you're not out there running around chasing after girls. You're enjoying life, you're interacting because it's just part of the environment that you happen to place yourself in, and you just strike up a conversation and it goes very naturally, okay? All right, number 4, a meetup group, okay? So here in the United States anyway, we have these things called an app called Meetup, and they have different organizations. Could be salsa class, could be investors, entrepreneurs, clay pottery class, video games. Now, you could join one of these groups and meet people, but here's a twist on it that I'd like to recommend to you is to start your own group, okay? You start a group, and immediately just with that, you show that you're competent, that you're a leader, that you're a man who can organize people and bring them together. That in and of itself is intrinsically attractive to women. And if you have a cool thing going on, let's just use video game club. If you know a lot about video games, but you're a social guy that people want to be around and you're good at organizing these events, and you got guys and girls coming there and they see you like, wow, this guy's really cool. He knows a ton about games. He's a fun guy. People love to come to these things. Obviously, you're going to be interacting with the women that go there. And this is when when you're the leader, women will put themselves into your zone. They will want to be interacting with you, talking with you, if they're attracted to you, of course, and not because just because you open up a group doesn't mean every girl's going to like you. I'm not saying that, but it's a great way to just have social proof, to show that you're a leader and to show that you're passionate about a certain subject. And those things, again, are all very attractive to women. All right, number 5, our last one is airplane. Yep, on an airplane is an absolutely fantastic place to meet a woman. Again, you're doing your own thing. Now, of course, some of you guys are gonna be like, what? Get on an airplane? Yes, obviously you have to be traveling somewhere, and yes, it's a roll of the dice because you don't know who the hell you're sitting next to, okay? I understand this, but I have done this multiple times where I got on an airplane, I happened to be sitting to an attractive girl, and just struck up a conversation, and boom, things were going really, really well. So I'll give you a specific example. One where we were flying back to LA, started a conversation, and I asked, how long was she going to be in LA? She said she was going to only be there for a few days. I said, well, what are your plans? She said, well, I'm just going to check out some restaurants that I want to see, and other than that, I don't have too many plans. And I was like, well, cool. You know what? Tell you what, while tonight, you go back to your hotel, you go kind of freshen up, and I'll come and pick you up at 7 o'clock, and I'll take you out. She's like, that'd be fantastic. So we went out, had a great night, and she ended up wanting to spend the rest of the weekend together before she went back home. And I didn't beg, I didn't she initiated it. She just had such a great time because I knew places to take her. I knew how to lead this interaction. She could feel calm and comfortable on the airplane. She obviously trusted me. And so airplane's great. And the other cool thing about meeting a girl on an airplane is if you really want to, you can literally have a date right then and there. You order a couple of cocktails because they have liquor on airplanes or coffee or whatever you want. And just literally have like a mini date right then and there. That's literally what happened with her and I. We were just having a good time. And so low key, there's no pressure because you're not going anywhere for a couple hours. And if you're good at socializing, you're good at reading the room, you just ask them out and boom. Once you arrive at your destination, it's like segue right into a fun date, which is exactly what I did. It was so much fun. I took her out dancing and it was just the whole fun thing. And she wanted me to she was like, well, hey, this was so much fun. Why don't you come and spend the night, blah, blah, blah. And so, it was a really cool time. And she stayed in touch with me for a long time. We would message back and forth. And so it was just something where, it left a good impression on her and we both had a lot of fun. So these are not my top, but these are 5 places that you might not consider meeting women at. And so I highly recommend just kind of opening up your mind a little bit outside of bars or, social events that are set up for dating, speed dating, et cetera, because a lot of times you definitely can meet people there, and I have met girls at those places as well. But I want you to incorporate it into your life. It should be part of your lifestyle, your living life. And when you just see someone that you like, you just approach them and start conversing. Being able to do this as a man gives you so much freedom and confidence, and it feels really good when you can go out there and do this whenever you want to. And it's an amazing feeling. So, and again, I want to stress that you're not out there chasing. You're not just lurking around. You're just living life, and you see someone and you go up to them and talk to them. So this really is about just gaining that confidence to approach and talk to someone. Now, some of you guys might say, well, coach, you have so much experience, it's easier for you to say. But there was a time where I couldn't do this either. I was nervous. I was afraid to say something. I thought getting rejected would be the worst thing, but I've been rejected plenty of times too. I've girls have said, oh no, well, I have a boyfriend, I'm married, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. And maybe they were being honest, maybe they weren't. It doesn't matter. But what was important to me at the time was I did it. I saw a girl I was attracted to, was like, hey, how you doing? And just started a conversation. Some went somewhere, some didn't. Doesn't matter. The fact that, in 2024, if you're a man who can get off apps and just go for what he wants in the real world, you're going to stand out and you're going to feel good about yourself. And that's what I want ultimately for all of you. Now, if you are interested you're like, I want to find a nice feminine girl. I have a free guide. You can download that below, completely free. It's on Mastering the Art of Attracting Feminine Women. So grab that guide below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, guys. That really helps the algorithms and gets this video spread around. Otherwise, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I will see you in the next one.